Hello everyone, it's NotaNoobPat, and welcome to Perk Review. Today we're taking a look at the level 30 Legion perk, Discordance. Any generator within a range of 128 meters that is being repaired by 2 or more survivors is marked by a yellow aura. When a generator is first highlighted, Discordance triggers a loud noise notification on that generator. After the generator is no longer within range or is being repaired by just one survivor, the highlighted aura will stay for only 4 more seconds. The pros are that this perk works well against survive with friend groups. This is probably one of the only counters to SWF groups. Even if you aren't facing a group, it is still extremely likely that 2 or more survivors will work on a generator together. This perk is also great at locating survivors. You will know going to a gen that is lit up by this perk that 2 or more survivors are there. This is almost always helpful at the beginning of games when all 4 survivors presumably hop on a gen to start. The cons are that survivors could notice midway through the game that you're using this perk and avoid doing generators together. That being said, this may not be a huge con though, cause it is beneficial for the killer to have this happen most of the time. This perk also fades at the end of the game typically. I'll go over that in the video examples. Let's get into the video demonstration. You will see that 2 survivors begin working on a generator together. I get a visual and audio indicator that I will let you see and hear in a moment. Then, the generator is also marked by a yellow aura. You will see that one of the survivors stops repairing the generator with their teammate, and then the generator loses its yellow aura 4 seconds later. You can also tell when this perk is active by seeing the perk icon become lit in the perk window. Now, I will play the noise indicator that you get with the visual indicator. 128 meters is massive. You can see that I am across the map and this perk still activates. I wouldn't worry about the range with this perk. It's going to work from just about everywhere. Let's get into our video examples. We're actually going to start on the survivor side to show why this perk can be so good. Most of the time survivors spawn together or very close to one another. Then their first reaction is generally to get on a generator with their friend to try to gen rush and get co-op points. Obviously, Discordance would be a counter to this type of gen rush. In the second game on Hawkins, I spawn with a teammate and I am literally on top of a generator. I'm not exaggerating. I didn't even have to move to start the gen. Again, Discordance could help you locate these survivors at the start of a match. Speaking of the start of a match, that is exactly what happens here in this Plague game. I see that the survivors are working on the Killer Shack gen and my corrupt purge is conveniently placed right on the way there. So after taking a short pit stop to pick that up, I'm headed right to the shack. I get to the Killer Shack and it ends up being that all 4 survivors spawned together here and they were working on this gen. I immediately puke on David and Laurie and get 2 easy hits. Then for some reason I don't just basic attack this Jane, but the results all end up the same. I puke on Jane for their first hit, block the pallet, and they get a second basic attack in. What happens if I don't have Discordance here? If I explored the other side of the map first, this generator would have been completed in the first 45 seconds of the game. Instead, I have 2 of the survivors injured, 1 is hooked in the basement, and all 5 generators are still needing to be completed. In this next game, I am also using Plague. However, this time I won't be needing my puke. Again, the survivors are doubling a generator in the Killer Shack, and I turn back after chasing this Nia. Once I get in the shack, I don't see anyone in there. I know both survivors couldn't have left that quickly, so I follow my intuition and check a locker, and lo and behold, look who I find. Again, I know that Discordance was active, so their buddy is probably somewhere near. Adam peeks out from around the corner and throws the pallet, and now I have the Killer Shack pallet destroyed and an easy hook due to this perk. Then I wanted to showcase the synergy with Pop. Discordance shows me which of the generators the survivors are prioritizing, and I use this info to teleport there with Freddy and break the gen for 25%. Furthermore, you'll see that this perk is great for also identifying where survivors are at, as I've said before. In the first example, I just get the pop in, but as you can see in the second example, I'm messing around with this Elodie with the flashlight, but I get the Discordance notification, teleport to the generator, and then easily down this Dwight. Then I will show you an overall Discordance experience and go through all the positives and negatives again. I get the Discordance notification to begin the game. I go over to the lit generator and I get an easy hit in on this Bill who thinks he's a blendette. Then I get a notification on the same generator again later on. I run over to the area, get a hit in on this Meg, then I play Ring Around the Rosie with this Jake and eventually get it down. We're doing pretty good to start the game. Then let's notice something here. I am on my third hook and the survivors have yet to complete a generator. I am again going to get my discordance notification and I teleport there from the basement. Again, after getting a kick in and delaying this generator's completion, I eventually get another down on a survivor. Again, there is the fourth hook right as the first generator is completed. However, it appears the survivors know what's happening since I reappeared at this gen numerous times when they were working on it together, as my discordance didn't activate again for the rest of the match. However, this could be because of another reason. With less people in the game, it's less likely that both survivors will bunch up together and work on a gen. So you'll see here later that another generator is completed. It was soloed by this survivor on top of the house. It would be practically suicide for both of these survivors to work on a generator together and give away their position again when both of them are injured. Despite this perk not doing a lot at the end of matches, I'm still able to find a way to finish out the game and get the 4K. I would say in large part due to discordance. It led to easy hits and hooks and prevented me from getting gen rushed in the first half of the match. Let's give this perk a grade. Discordance is an 8 out of 10. Beyond the excellent synergy with other killer perks, I love how this perk helps you start strong as the killer. How quick does it help you start? I hope I displayed that Discordance can activate in the first 10 seconds of a round. The only thing is everyone knows this perk is good and it is a very common killer perk. Survivors will catch on if you run towards 2 of them on a generator 3 or 4 times in the first few minutes of a game. This may cause them to stop working together, which may not be a bad thing, but also means that this perk may not activate the rest of the game. Many players are surviving with their friends, and this is one of the only legit counters to SWF groups, so that is why this perk got such a high grade along with all the other pros. This perk is very good, and I highly recommend it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave it a like. If you want to check out more perk review, make sure to look for the links in the description and visit my channel to subscribe. I also stream twice a week on Twitch if you want to stop by. Take it easy.